More than 100 Palestinians are reported to have been killed and many more injured. I first of all want to express the United States' deepest condolences to the families of those who died. Far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed over the course of this conflict, not just today, but over the past nearly 5 months. We are urgently seeking additional information on exactly what took place. We have been in touch with the Israeli government since early this morning and understand that an investigation is underway. We will be monitoring that investigation closely and pressing for answers. If there's anything that the aerial footage of today's incident makes clear, it is just how desperate the situation on the ground is. People need more food. They need more water. They need medicine and other humanitarian goods, and they need it now. Our understanding is that there was a commercial convoy delivering humanitarian assistance, that there were no UN agencies involved. They were delivering assistance, and then beyond that, we have seen obviously conflicting reports. We've seen the reports from the government of Israel. We've seen accounts from local Palestinians who were on the scene. We don't have ground truth on what happened. We have been pushing for an opening of a crossing in northern Gaza is because we know that the situation there is incredibly dire. Even when you've had assistance flowing, not enough assistance flowing ever, but certainly over the past few weeks, not enough assistance flowing in the south, at least there has been assistance getting in. The situation in the north has been much more difficult because of the difficulty of trucks traveling all the way from the south to the north and the difficulty of guarding those trucks, which I think is one of the things that we saw today. We were in touch at senior levels with the government of Israel early this morning, U.S. time. Obviously, Israel is 7 hours ahead of us, so by the time we woke up here, people in Israel in the embassy were already in touch, and those contacts were followed up by people here in the State Department pushing for answers and we're told that there's an investigation. We'll look to see what the results of that investigation yield and what further measures, if any, are appropriate. I will speak on behalf of the United States and say that the Secretary has made clear directly in conversations with Israeli government partners, and as of others in the United States government, that we want to see a crossing open in the north as soon as possible. And where we are today is that we have said we cannot support an operation in Rafah unless there is a credible and executable plan to deal with the more than 1 million civilians who are sheltering there. And we have not yet seen such a plan. We haven't been briefed on such a plan, and we can't support it until we see that plan. And so to speculate about what may happen down the road, I of course can't do. I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow, but I'll take it one step at a time and say right now there's not a plan in place that we have seen that we can endorse. I will say whatever the exact number is of civilians that have been killed, it is far too high, which is what you heard me addressing a moment ago, and which is why we continue to try to perceive a temporary ceasefire that would alleviate that suffering.
According to the information that we have, dozens of them have bullets in their heads. It's not like, firing in the sky to restrain people if there was confusions and chaos. It was intentionally targeting and killing. And the number that we have now is 112 have been killed, and the number is increasing, and 750 injured, and possibly the number would be increasing. This outrageous, massacre is a testimony to the fact that as long as the Security Council is paralyzed and vetoes casted, then it is costing the Palestinian people their lives. I met in the morning with Ambassador Linda Greenfield, and I couldn't discuss anything except that issue with her because, it happened this morning and the news came to us this morning. I implored her that the Security Council has to produce a product of condemning this killing and to go after those responsible for this massacre. Accountability is extremely important, and that the Security Council should say enough is enough, and if they have a spine and determination to put an end to these massacres from happening all over again, what we need is a ceasefire. We condemn in the strongest possible terms this heinous massacre against our people. We hope that the Security Council elevate itself to produce a product to express their outrage and the condemnation of this massacre, and to hold those responsible to an account, and also to adopt things. Our desire is ceasefire, but whatever they adopt in order, to condemn this massacre and to apply the maximum pressure on those committing it and those who are shielding them, that would be a step in the right direction. There is no way except a ceasefire to be put in place. And even I said to the ambassador of the United States that there is nothing that can prevent you, if you have clout over Israel, have a unilateral ceasefire put in place for as long as you want. You don't need a resolution in the Security Council. For heaven's sake, put an end to killing civilians, children, women. And we hope that we will see some progress in the Security Council in the next hour or so.
Did you feel she was open to that, your suggestion?
I think her heart is in the right place, but she is an official of an administration that receives instructions from Washington, D.C. And then you can ask her or ask any member of her delegation. They are the ones that can speak on behalf of their government, nobody else. Let it speak for itself. Let not speculate. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Secretary General is appalled by the tragic human toll of the conflict in Gaza, in which more than 30,000 people have now reportedly been killed and over 70,000 injured. Tragically, an unknown number of people lie under the rubble. The Secretary General condemns the incident today in northern Gaza, in which more than 100 people were reportedly killed or injured while seeking life-saving aid. The desperate civilians in Gaza need urgent help, including those in the besieged northern part of Gaza, where the United Nations has not been able to deliver aid for more than a week. The Secretary General reiterates his call for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire and the unconditional release of all the hostages held in Gaza. He once again calls for urgent steps so that critical humanitarian aid can get into and across Gaza for all those who so desperately need it. We also have a statement from the Undersecretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, Martin Griffiths, who has warned that life is draining out of Gaza at a terrifying speed, with the reported death toll across Gaza that we've just mentioned. Mr. Griffiths also said he is appalled by the reported killing and injury of hundreds of people in Gaza during a transfer of aid supplies in west of Gaza City today.
You just said it wasn't a delivery in which the UN was involved. Do you know who was involved in the delivery?
No, I mean, all we know is from what we've seen in the press report. So I don't have any information more than you do.
You think these people died because of a violent act?
These people died because there is a conflict that is going on. These people died because humanitarian aid has not been able to be delivered in a safe manner. I keep saying here, right, that the way we operate right now is not safe. And I said it even yesterday. It is not safe for those people who deliver the aid. It is not safe for people who receive the aid. This is a chaotic, opportunistic humanitarian operation that we're trying to run. We don't know exactly, I mean, as far as we're concerned, we don't know exactly what happened, but whether people were shot and died as a result of Israeli gunfire, whether they were crushed by a crowd, whether they were run over by trucks, these are all acts of violence, in a sense, due to this conflict.